Kia ora, lovely Leo. Thanks for joining me at the Lightroom forecast. This is your reading for this new moon in Taurus. Very exciting time. We get the Ace of Swords coming out. General overarching energies for you. The gift of sight, Leo, the gift of clarity. Yeah, for this new moon in Taurus, partial solar eclipse at the same time. Well, position of choice. We have clear communication. We've got clear sight. That's for sure. With this beautiful ace, new insight. A choice is to keep the channels open. This could come very quickly. Sometimes, like epiphanies, or, we have like, wow, this sort of recognition of something, or we become aware of something that we weren't before, even if it's about ourselves, excuse me, or a situation or something, keeping the channels open, because this is pretty fast and immediate and like almost instantaneous. It's as if Leo, your crown's opened, is so receptive that you can really digest a lot of fast, immediate messaging. Could be fiber optics, emails, instant messages, instant information coming through. But it's like your Leo, it's like you're really receptive to it at the moment, like big time, really big time, receptive. Because of this, like, we get two cards coming out here. We get the Chariot. Now, the Chariot's moving at such a pace because there's an innate ability for balance in this card. And as this Chariot moves, we are creating. It is like works in progress. Like, this is fast. So, from formless matter, or water, comes this fast-moving, oh God, what's the word? So we're creating form so incredibly quickly. And I do see it because this is so, the crown is just gobbling up all this really fast. I mean, I can't even speak to get it out, what's going on here. There's so much information and you're so receptive. And there is a message here that says, you must be in a make sure that there's a great level of balance here, because we have this Chariot who's able to bring, as I said, create form from nothing, from formless matter. We're creating as we go. At the same time, we get the Prince of Swords. Now, they're both in their own little chariot kind of thing, But the Prince of Swords has these thought forms. And they're described as fairies in the Thoth deck that he has no control over. They're taking him in all different directions. So it's quite clear to me that, there's a sense that, you're really, really receptive, Leo, at the moment. And there's a lot coming through for you. There's a lot of new information. There's a lot of stuff coming through. You don't want to be set off your balance here. It's a really fine line. It's a very fine line. Moving forward, we will clarify. Moving forward, we get the beautiful Four of Cups. Because in this potential, I say, potential for getting a little bit off balance and then kind of getting swept away, you know, there's a potential that we may well miss something that is on offer with the Four of Cups. So it's amazing in that you are in a position where you can receive so much, but don't let it sort of tip the balance, because you need that balance at this time. Is really, really important. However you get that for yourself, however you foster it in your world at this current time, keep that balance, because we can't use reins to control the Chariot. It is like a in sync, you know, a kind of in sync telepathic sort of balance, mental balance. Anyway, let's go through. Let's have a look at, clarify the Ace of Swords, please, for Leo at this new moon in Taurus, which is a beautiful time. Yeah, direction, very much so. We get the Two of Wands. You can see exactly where you want to go, what your resources are, where you want to go with that. Sometimes that's the hardest thing, and you're prepared to make a decision about it. So it's amazing, Leo. What is this Eight of Wands? So we have the Two of Wands. You know exactly what your resources are. You know exactly what they are and where you want to go with it, because you can see it. Because it's just like, boom, everything's just fitting. Everything's fitting. Eight of Wands, clarification. This very fast moving messages coming in. Page of Wands, experimental. Not afraid to take risks. We're walking a fine line. Not afraid to take a risk, though. And with that, again, we get the Four of Cups. It's something about a choice, and a choice that, or an opportunity, actually, that you don't want to, you want to see it when it's here. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss that you don't want to, in order to do that, you're seeing things in a slightly different way. You're certainly more receptive, Leo. That makes sense. But it's funny having that Four of Swords coming up twice. Interesting. The Chariot. Chariot. Look, we've got probably a few too many cards here. So before, you know, when these two came out, so we've been experimental with this Page of Wands. We're really sort of starting something again, or we're starting over again, or something like that, because it's real beginner's mind. We're seeing opportunities or offerings that we didn't necessarily see before, because we're so receptive, right? We also had the Three of Cups coming out, which is a wonderful card of celebration. It's a really positive card. To clarify, Leo, the Chariot, we have the Two of Cups. Speaking of balance, it's probably the most balanced and harmonious card in any tarot deck. I always think the Two of Cups. we have the Emperor. Yeah, there's a structure. There's a kind of structure that you want to instigate, or follow or build. This is part of what you're creating, and there is a structure to it. The mutuality aspect is really important. This mutual giving and receiving is really important to this balance, and to this thing that you're bringing into form. We then have the Eight of Cups, a card of a level of emotional detachment, because that's what is required. That in some ways that you see this process, that you're not getting carried away by it, that you see it in a sort of impersonal way, even though it's actually it's quite a big deal, because you've managed to really open yourself up in a way that you haven't before, Leo, is what I'm getting. And you're still on track. You're not getting kind of like it's like a supernova or something just exploding everywhere in the sky. You're still on track. You're on target. Four of Cups, please. If this makes any sense to someone out there, I'd be very happy, because it's pretty amazing. And we get the Hierophant. This is this is about new information, obviously, starting with that Ace of Swords, but it's about new information, that has up until this point been kind of hidden, or that you haven't been in a position where you could receive it, but now is the time. And you're actually treating it with a large level of respect, because you know how easy it is for ego to just take this off into a whole other realm, which is not going to be beneficial for you, Leo, is what I'm getting. Brian Froud's Pixie and Fairy, we get the journeyman. It's a new journey, yes indeed it is. And it's one that you are wanting to embark upon, and you've got good foundations here. You also, as I was speaking of egos, or ego, and the nature, I'm not saying ego, I mean, we need our ego in order to be able to function in this particular world. But, we know when it's sort of out of control, right? You understand, Leo, that in this whole process, in this story, in this reading for you, we have the feline, which is about cleaning up old habits. We understand that all of this receptivity, this new ability to receive or be receptive, you are able to do that because you're willing to look at these it's like crust. It's just what I see, like crusty skin that needs to be scraped off and cleaned before you can walk off like the journeyman. So in being respectful of certain gifts here, and to be able to see see things that you didn't before, like opportunities and offerings that you didn't see before. It does speak of, in some ways, I mean, it speaks of someone who has overcome a sort of addiction or something. Like there's an explosion on a not only psychological, mental, spiritual, emotional level here. It's as if there's been a cellular renewal, Leo. I mean, honestly, it's as if it's like on a cellular level. And I do think that your last reading, if I remember correctly, and it was during the Libra full moon, speaking of balance, was sort of about that a little bit too. Now, just one more card that we've pulled this week. I got this deck the other day. It's really quite delightful. A little bit dry, you know, it's all sort of really European American artists, really. But it's quite fun. So we've got Artemisia Gentilischi. I know I'm not saying that properly. She was quite a renegade in her time, I believe, which was a few hundred years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, we're looking at life, work, and inspiration. Life. History has your back. Society stabs you in it. So it's quite dry. I like it. Work. Use your talent like a weapon, which is what this woman did, so you know. And don't let convention confine you. She was quite a renegade in her time. So, Leo, on that note, I hope you enjoyed that reading and got something out of it today. But enjoy your lovely, this lovely new moon in Taurus, and we'll see you for the full moon actually in Scorpio. Okay, that's on the 15th. Okay, ka kite, Leo. Bye.